GTA 6 isn't even out yet, and somehow your Switch is already packed with games that hit the same itch. I'm Alice, and honestly, some of these surprised me too. Open worlds, chaos, freedom to do whatever you want. Let's just dive straight into the list.
Game number 1 has to open the list because it's literally where the GTA obsession started. The GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition packs GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas into one package, remastered and fully playable on Switch. Running around Liberty City or cruising through San Andreas on a handheld still feels kinda wild to me. The chaos, the missions, the radio stations, it's all there, just sharper looking now. Before we keep going, quick favor, tap that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment telling me your favorite game on this list so far. Honestly, replaying these 3 games back to back reminded me why this series became such a massive deal in the first place. If you grew up with GTA, this one hits different on Switch. Number 2 switches things up completely with a slower, more atmospheric open world. Red Dead Redemption follows John Marston across a dying Wild West, and the Switch port genuinely surprised a lot of people when it landed. Horseback riding across dusty plains, hunting, gunfights, bounty missions, it all runs smoother than expected on Nintendo's handheld. I'll be honest, the pacing takes patience. This isn't a fast-paced GTA clone. It's a slow-burn Western draw, that once the story grabs you, it's hard to put down. Rockstar clearly knows how to build a living world, and having this one portable makes long trips actually enjoyable. If you want mood over mayhem, this is your pick. Third on the list flips the script by putting you on the right side of the law for once. LA Noire drops you into 1940s Los Angeles as Detective Cole Phelps, solving crimes instead of causing them. The open world here feels a bit emptier than most GTA-style games, sure, but the facial animation tech and interrogation scenes still hold up surprisingly well. I actually enjoy the slower detective pacing. It's a nice break from constant chaos. Driving through a stylish noir city while piecing together clues scratches a different itch entirely. It's a Rockstar-published game too, so the DNA is there, even if the vibe is completely different from typical open-world crime games. Number 4 is basically what happens when developers decide realism was never the point. Saints Row the Third full package throws you into Steelport with ridiculous weapons, over-the-top customization, and missions that get weirder the further you go. This one leans hard into comedy instead of crime drama, and honestly, that's exactly why I love it. Nothing here takes itself seriously, from giant purple bats to literal insurance fraud missions. If GTA ever felt too grounded for your taste, this fills that gap perfectly on Switch. The open city runs well, load times are decent, and the absurd humor lands more often than not. Pure, chaotic fun packed into a handheld. Fifth up is one of the biggest technical surprises to hit Switch 2 so far. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition somehow runs on Nintendo's new hardware, letting you explore Night City's neon streets in full RPG glory. Combat, hacking, branching dialogue, cyberware upgrades, all of it made the jump. I was genuinely skeptical this game could work portable, but it holds up better than expected once you adjust settings. Night City feels dense and alive, packed with side stories that rival the main quest. If you want a GTA-style world but with deeper role-playing mechanics layered on top, this delivers exactly that experience. Number 6 brings hacking into the open-world crime formula in a pretty unique way. Watch Dogs Legion lets you recruit literally any NPC walking around London and play as them, which honestly never stops being fun to mess with. Hack traffic lights, security drones, cameras, basically turn the entire city into your personal toolbox for chaos. The Switch Cloud version streams the game rather than running it locally, which works fine with decent internet. I like how every random pedestrian becomes a potential playable character. It makes the sandbox feel unpredictable in a good way. If GTA's chaos mixed with spy thriller tech sounds appealing, this scratches that exact itch. 7th on the list swaps guns and cars for wands and broomsticks, but the open world freedom stays intact. Hogwarts Legacy puts you inside the wizarding world with a huge map to explore, spells to unlock, and a story with real weight behind it. Getting this running well on Switch felt like a small miracle, honestly, and the Switch 2 version cleans things up even further. Flying around on a broom or exploring hidden areas never really gets old. It's not crime-focused like typical picks on this list, but the sense of discovery and open-ended exploration puts it firmly in GTA-style territory for me. Number 8 is for anyone who wants their open world soaked in atmosphere and brutal difficulty. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition brings the full From Software experience to Switch 2, including the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion bundled right in. Riding Torrent across the lands between, discovering secrets in every direction, getting destroyed by bosses repeatedly, it's all here. I won't lie, this game humbled me more times than I'd like to admit, but that difficulty is exactly what makes exploration feel earned instead of handed to you. If you want freedom paired with genuine challenge rather than pure mayhem, this belongs near the top of your list.
9th place goes to a game that basically redefined what open-world storytelling could look like. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition follows Geralt across a massive, richly detailed world, packed with monster contracts and morally gray choices. Somehow, this entire game runs on original Switch hardware, which still impresses me every time I boot it up. The side quests here often outshine other games' main stories. That's how good the writing is. Exploring on horseback, fighting monster, making decisions that actually ripple through the story, it never gets old. If you want depth over chaos, this remains one of the best open-world games ever made. Full stop.
10th on the list trades cities for entire galaxies, which is a wild shift in scale. No Man's Sky lets you explore procedurally generated planets, build bases, fly ships, and basically do whatever you want across an absurdly large universe. It's come a long way since its rocky launch years ago, and the Switch version holds up better than people expect. I still find it kind of relaxing to just land somewhere random and see what's out there. The freedom here is less about crime and more about pure exploration, but that same open-ended GTA-style spirit is baked into every planet you visit.
11th has to be here, because leaving it off would honestly be a crime itself. Breath of the Wild redefined open-world design when it launched, letting you climb literally anything, cook random ingredients, and tackle objectives in whatever order you want. Hyrule feels genuinely alive, full of secrets tucked into every corner of the map. I still remember the first time I saw a mountain and just decided to climb it, no quest marker required. That sense of total freedom is exactly what makes this list worth making. If you haven't played it yet, honestly, what are you even doing at this point?
Number 12 takes everything great about its predecessor and somehow builds even higher, literally. Tears of the Kingdom adds sky islands, underground depth, and building mechanics that let you create vehicles from scavenged parts. The scope here is genuinely ridiculous once you start combining Ultra Hand and Fuse in creative ways. I've spent embarrassing amounts of time just building weird contraptions instead of progressing the story. Hyrule feels layered now, 3 distinct worlds stacked on top of each other. If open-ended experimentation and total creative freedom is your thing, this might be the most impressive open-world game currently on Switch.
13th on the list brings massive JRPG scale into the open-world conversation. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gives you sprawling landscapes to explore, a deep combat system, and a story that hits surprisingly hard emotionally. The draw distance and scale here genuinely push what Switch hardware can handle, which is impressive on its own. I got way more attached to these characters than I expected going in. Fast travel, side quests, hidden areas packed with loot, it scratches that exploration itch hard. If you want a JRPG-flavored take on open-world freedom, this is easily one of the best exclusives Nintendo has on the platform right now. 14th swaps wide-open fields for a dense, crime-soaked city block instead. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut throws you into 80s Tokyo and Osaka as Kazuma Kiryu, mixing brawler combat with genuinely absurd side content. One minute, you're in a serious crime drama scene. The next, you're managing a cabaret club or racing tiny cars. That tonal whiplash is honestly part of the charm for me. The city feels smaller than typical GTA-style maps, but it's packed so densely with things to do that it barely matters. If you loved GTA's crime story energy, this delivers it with way more heart and humor. 15th continues the crime saga with Yakuza Kiwami, a remake of the original story that started it all. Kiryu's journey through Kamurocho hits different once you already know his backstory from earlier entries. Honestly, it adds a lot of weight to certain scenes.
Combat feels punchy, side stories range from touching to completely ridiculous, and the city rewards just wandering around. I appreciate how these games balance genuine crime drama with moments that make you laugh out loud. It's a tighter, more focused experience than open-field sandboxes, but the same GTA-style urban chaos energy runs through every street corner here. 16th on the list is for anyone who wants their open-world sandbox built around stealth instead of shooting. Hitman World of Assassination drops Agent 47 into massive, densely populated levels where creativity is basically the entire point. Disguises, environmental kills, poisoned drinks, every level feels like its own tiny open-world puzzle box. I love replaying missions just to find weirder ways to complete objectives. It runs impressively well on Switch 2 hardware too. If GTA's freedom appealed to you, but you'd rather plan chaos quietly instead of causing it loudly, this series delivers that exact fantasy in a really satisfying way. 17th takes the open-world crime formula and sets it in a galaxy far, far away instead. Star Wars Outlaws puts you in the boots of a scoundrel navigating criminal syndicates, bounty hunters, and smuggling runs across multiple planets. The reputation system genuinely affects how different factions treat you, which adds weight to your choices. Flying your ship, sneaking through bases, shooting your way out when plans fall apart, it all blends together nicely. I honestly didn't expect to enjoy the criminal underworld angle this much in a Star Wars game. If you want GTA-style freedom wrapped in a sci-fi outlaw fantasy, this is worth checking out. 18th brings chaotic looter-shooter energy into the mix with Borderlands 4. Massive open areas, ridiculous weapon variety, over-the-top humor, and 4-player co-op make this one of the more mayhem-filled entries on this list. Guns here have genuinely absurd effects, and finding a new legendary drop still gives that little dopamine hit every time. The world feels more connected and less segmented than earlier entries too. I've lost way more hours to this than I'd like to admit, especially playing with friends. If you want GTA-style chaos combined with loot grinding and co-op mayhem, this delivers exactly that combination. 19th lightens the mood considerably with Immortals Fenyx Rising, a colorful mythology-inspired adventure. You play as Fenyx, exploring a vibrant open world based on Greek mythology, solving puzzles, gliding off cliffs, and battling gods along the way. The tone here leans playful and funny, rather than gritty or crime-focused, which makes it a nice palate cleanser on this list. Climbing mechanics feel inspired by Breath of the Wild, honestly, and that's not a bad thing at all. Puzzle shrines scattered across the map kept me hooked longer than expected. If you want open-world freedom without the violence, this is a genuinely charming pick.
20th is the classic that basically never leaves these kinds of lists, and for good reason. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim still holds up as one of the most replayable open-world RPGs ever made, even years after launch. Explore dungeons, join guilds, fight dragons, or just wander into random villages and see what happens. I've restarted this game more times than I can count, and it somehow never gets old. The Switch version runs it portably, which honestly changes how you experience a game this massive. If total freedom to become whatever kind of character you want sounds appealing, Skyrim remains a genuine must-play.
21st swaps action combat for deep tactical RPG systems with Baldur's Gate 3. This isn't your typical GTA-style sandbox, but the sheer freedom in how you approach every situation earns its spot here easily. Talk your way out of fights, sneak past enemies, or just go full chaos mode. The game genuinely reacts to whatever you choose. Getting this running on Switch felt like a technical achievement on its own, honestly. Companions have real depth, choices carry actual weight, and exploration rewards curiosity constantly. If you want narrative freedom to match open world freedom, this might be the smartest pick on the entire list.
22nd brings superhero chaos into brick form with LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Gotham gets fully recreated in LEGO style, letting you swing, glide, and explore freely while collecting studs and tackling missions across the city. The humor here stays light and family-friendly, which makes it a nice contrast against some heavier picks on this list. Combat feels satisfying without being overly complex, and the open city genuinely rewards exploring every corner. I found myself grinning way more than expected playing through story missions. If you want GTA-style freedom without any of the mature content, this is a genuinely solid choice. 23rd heads into space with The Outer Worlds, a sci-fi RPG dripping with corporate satire and dark humor. You explore multiple colonies as a stranded traveler, making choices that genuinely shift how factions and companions react to you. The writing here stays sharp and funny throughout, poking fun at capitalism in ways that still land today. Combat feels straightforward but satisfying, and companion banter adds a lot of personality to every mission. I appreciate how compact yet dense this world feels compared to sprawling open-world giants. If you want freedom and choice without a 100-hour commitment, this fits nicely. 24th on the list is a deep tactical RPG that rewards absolute experimentation. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition lets you combine elements, environmental effects, and party builds in genuinely creative ways to solve fights and puzzles. Freedom here comes through systems interacting, rather than an open city to drive around in. But that same GTA-style spirit of doing things your own way runs throughout. I've accidentally set entire battlefields on fire more times than I'd like to admit. Co-op play makes chaos even more fun with friends along for the ride. If tactical freedom sounds appealing, this deserves a spot on your Switch. 25th closes things out with something completely different in tone. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. This one blends open-world action RPG exploration with cozy life sim elements, like farming, crafting, and building relationships with townsfolk. It's a genuinely charming way to end this list, after all that chaos and crime from earlier picks. Switching between combat-focused questing and relaxed daily life activities keeps things feeling fresh throughout. I didn't expect to enjoy the slower pace this much, honestly. If you want open-world freedom that ends on a calmer, cozier note, this rounds out the list perfectly.